Capitalism Destabilized. How do we prepare to overthrow the U.S. government? First published, The 80s, Volume 1, Number 3, October 1980. Transcription, editing, and markup, Paul Saba. 1 year ago, at its founding Congress, the Communist Workers' Party pointed out that U.S. capitalist society was heading into a period of rapid destabilization. The working class, which for the previous 3 decades had been put half to sleep by the revisionism of the CPUSA, Communist Party, USA, and the false prosperity of the capitalists' temporary stabilization, would be jarred awake by the permanent economic crisis. At that time, we stated that the working class would open up to communism as never before. We further showed that this destabilization would last at least 5 years, now 4 years, as it would take the monopoly capitalist class that long to decide and unite on a plan to pull themselves out of this crisis, if they can at all. These intermonopoly contradictions give us time to prepare for socialist revolution, time to make sure that the capitalists will not be able to stabilize their rule and again put the mass of workers back to sleep. Our task, formulated at that time, was to win the majority and build up the party beyond defeat in the next 5 years, now 4 years. This was called the 5-year framework. To put it more concretely, since the era of imperialism began around the turn of the century, advanced capitalist countries go through periods of destabilization every 20 years or so, and the working class wakes up, becoming very receptive to communism. During capitalist destabilization, the possibility arises for the working class to seize state power and establish revolutionary socialism. But in between these destabilized periods, the working class is half asleep and the capitalist class effects its brutal dictatorship unchallenged. So the question that faces our party is this: what should the character of our work be? And how can we utilize this situation of rapid destabilization, this relatively short period of time, in order to ensure that another 20 years of stabilization and consequently deep sleep doesn't engulf the working class? In this article, I would like to discuss some of the fabric and characteristics of U.S. society as compared to the Third World and how this affects our preparation in periods of temporary stabilization and destabilization.